Okay, so vodka. You know we're diving deep into this one, right? You've given me encyclopedia entries, brand histories, cocktail recipes. Did you raid a library?
Well, somebody's got to separate the vodka myths from the martini realities, right?
Okay, I like that. I like that. So, our mission, should we choose to accept it? We're uncovering the surprising twists and turns in vodka's story. And hey, maybe we'll arm you with some fun facts for your next cocktail party. So, where do we even begin with vodka? It feels like one of those things that's like been around forever.
Well, it's funny you should say that because we have to address the age-old debate, Poland versus Russia.
Oh, here we go.
It's the classic cocktail party argument,
Yeah.
right? Who gets to say, we invented vodka first? Bragging rights.
Right out the gate with the big questions.
Yeah.
Well, Poland's got that 1405 document. It literally uses the word vodka. Hard to argue with that, right?
It's compelling evidence. It's a good place to start. But here's the catch. Vodka, back then, was not the vodka we know and love today.
Oh, really? Okay, so what are we talking? Paint thinner?
Think of it more like medicine, cosmetics, even a face cleanser.
A burning water facial? That's
Yeah.
hardcore. Wait, did you say burning water?
Gorzalka, that's the original Polish term.
Gorzalka.
Makes you wonder what those early distillation methods were like, right? If the end result was literally burning.
Ouch. Makes you appreciate the smooth stuff we have today. But hold on. Russia's got that whole monk distilled spirit thing going on way back in the 9th century.
Right.
So are we saying Russia was making cocktails while Poland was still figuring out how to make hand sanitizer?
Not quite cocktails, but they were definitely experimenting. What's really interesting is that both countries were onto something. These early versions were more like medicinal tonics, low in alcohol, and often flavored with herbs and spices.
To mask the taste.
Exactly, to mask those impurities.
Okay, so less shaken or stirred, more like take 2 tablespoons and call me in the morning.
Basically. But this is where things take a turn. Both Poland and Russia were in the game, but then Russia called in the big guns. A chemist named Theodore Lowitz.
Okay, Lois, let's go. Let's go. Tell us more. How do you change the vodka game?
Picture this. It's 18th century Russia. Vodka's everywhere. It's the national drink. But it's rough. It's basically firewater at this point. Enter Lowitz. He rocks the vodka world with a little something called charcoal filtration.
Hold up, charcoal filtration. Okay, so we all know charcoal's great for grilling, but for vodka.
It was a game changer. Think about it. Before this, vodka was rough, inconsistent. Lowitz figures out this method, this charcoal filtration. It traps all those impurities, making it smoother, cleaner, more palatable. Basically set the stage for vodka to become something you'd want to sip on.
So, like, Lowitz is the unsung hero of smooth vodka. I'll toast to that. But, I mean, we can't forget about good old Pyotr Smirnov. You know, the name that ended up on, like, countless bottles of vodka.
Right.
What was his role in all of this?
Smirnoff was all about, taking it to the people. He saw what Lowitz did, this charcoal filtration. He was like, we're going big. He wanted to make vodka that wasn't just smoother, but consistent in quality. No more burning water.
And all of this is happening, what, pre-Prohibition America, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were they drinking back then? Was vodka just too tame for their palate at that point?
That's a really good question because vodka's journey to the West, it's almost as smooth as the spirit itself. But it's got some twists and turns, and it all ties back to a pretty wild time in Russia's history. But I think that's a story for another shot glass, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so vodka's refined, but not exactly taking the world by storm just yet. What was the turning point?
It's like a perfectly mixed cocktail. A lot of ingredients go into it. Remember those twists and turns we mentioned? Russia's history.
Oh, right. Early 1900s, the revolution, everyone fleeing.
Exactly. And those fleeing,
Yeah.
many had ties to the vodka industry. They end up in Europe, other parts of the world even.
Taking their vodka recipes with them.
Exactly. Introducing it to new people, new palates. It was a whole new world for vodka.
So from burning water to rubbing shoulders with the champagne and caviar crowd. I like vodka's glow up. But what about America?
They were. Europe was warming up to vodka, but the U.S., not so much. They were a whiskey and rum crowd. Big, bold flavors were all the rage back then. Vodka needed a bit of a makeover to win them over.
Enter stage left, the cocktail, specifically that iconic blend of vodka, ginger beer, and lime. You know where I'm going with this, right?
The Moscow Mule. And you're right, it wasn't just a drink, it was a marketing masterpiece.
Genius.
Suddenly vodka wasn't this bland spirit. It was the cool, crisp base for the hottest cocktail around.
Plus, let's be honest, those copper mugs didn't hurt either. You can't deny the power of a memorable drinking experience.
Absolutely not. And the Moscow Mule. Just the beginning. Vodka's neutral flavor. It's like a blank canvas for cocktails. Bloody Mary, Screwdriver, the always elegant Cosmopolitan. Vodka's versatility is its superpower.
The chameleon of the spirits world. But we can't forget about branding. And when I think vodka branding, one very specific bottle with a very specific silhouette comes to mind.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Absolutely. They were brilliant. They knew how important image was.
A bottle. It's like minimalist art deco. You see it and you know instantly.
They didn't just make amazing vodka. They bottled it in a way that was recognizable, stylish. It said something.
And they were marketing geniuses, collaborating with artists, designers, even fashion icons. It wasn't just about the vodka, it was a lifestyle.
Exactly. They were way ahead of their time.
So vodka's a hit. It's global. But here's where things get really interesting to me. Remember how early vodkas were flavored to hide the taste?
Oh, yeah.
Fast forward a few centuries, flavored vodka is back and bigger than ever.
It's true. Absolute pepper, that was created, supposedly, for the perfect Bloody Mary.
I mean, a noble goal, right?
And now, it's endless. Watermelon, cucumber, vanilla. If you can imagine it, there's probably a vodka infused with it.
I've got to ask, though, fad or are flavored vodkas here to stay? What do you think?
That's a great question. It speaks to this bigger trend in the spirits world.
Yeah.
The whole premium and craft thing. Vodka isn't just about that neutral flavor anymore. People want something different, something unique. But it makes you wonder, what does premium even mean when we're talking vodka?
Yeah, I mean, is premium vodka just a fancy way of saying we charge more for this bottle? Or are these high-end vodkas actually that different?
It's the question, right? Everyone's got an opinion on this one. You've got brands out there using all kinds of fancy terms like special filtration, locally sourced ingredients. I even saw one that talked about diamond dust filtration.
I think diamond dust filtration. I mean, come on. Is this real life? Does that even do anything?
It's definitely not creative marketing. Does it make a difference in taste? That's up for debate.
Yeah.
But I think it shows you how people are thinking about vodka now. They're not just buying a bottle, they're buying an experience. The story behind it, where it came from, how it's made.
I can get behind that. But it's funny because for the longest time, here in the US at least, vodka had a very specific and kind of boring legal definition. Odorless and tasteless. Talk about a creativity killer.
I know. It's like they were saying, make it as neutral as possible. No room for any personality.
But then a certain French brand came along and said, no, we're doing things differently.
Grey Goose. They weren't afraid to stand out. They actually said, look, vodka can have character, it can have taste. It should reflect what it's made from.
And they weren't messing around. They really did create a vodka that was smooth, but with something a little extra.
And you know what? People loved it. It proved that vodka didn't have to be totally neutral. And guess what? In 2021, the U.S. finally got rid of that odorless and tasteless definition.
At that time.
It really opened the doors for a whole new era of vodka, one that's all about flavor and quality.
So what's next for vodka? I mean, it's gone from burning water to a global phenomenon. What does the future hold for everyone's favorite spirit?
That's the exciting part. The story isn't over yet. We're seeing all this innovation with distillation. People care about where their ingredients come from. New flavors are popping up all the time. Who knows what's next?
Cheers to that. Vodka really has come a long way. It's amazing how it's managed to evolve but still stay true to its roots.
And for those listening at home, here's something to think about. How will these innovations in distillation, this focus on unique ingredients, shape the future of vodka?
That's a great question. It's clear vodka's story is far from over. And on that note, cheers to vodka. Its surprisingly spirited history and to many more delicious discoveries to come.